But I thought I knew how to get angry, so we will find out about that. So, David, take it away. The title, right? How to get frustrated, depressed, pissed off, angry, and stay that way. Just a few simple steps. And it's quite easy if you really want to pay attention to this. But in case you haven't noticed, in today's world, people are getting a little cranky. Right? They got their panties in a wad, however you want to say that. But basically, what happens is, everybody, when they're communicating, nobody's listening, nobody's paying attention. The reason is, are we not moving? We're not moving. There we go. Oh no, technology. Dang it, get it working! Oh, come on. Basically, one of the things you want to do if you really want to get frustrated, and believe me, there's a point to this here, is guess what? Watch the news. Anybody in here watch the news? Right? And I'm going to come back to this point in a minute too. The news is fascinating because what does it tell you? Right?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff. The only thing the news tells you is what's wrong and what's going on. Why? Because the deal is if it bleeds, it leads. Right? So you want to watch the news. And George Carlin, I think, said it best when he said, scientists discovered today that saliva causes cancer, but only when swallowed in small amounts over a long period of time. Okay? Now, another way for you to get frustrated or ticked off or depressed and just stay that way constantly is to listen to talk radio. Right? And it doesn't matter what side, if you're listening to, either side, it's all negative because all they do is attack each other. And guess what? The cool thing about radio is it gets to stay with you all day long. People, it's in the car, it's at work, it's always on. People are listening to it online now. It doesn't matter, but it's kind of the same thing in that it brings you the worst news of the day. It's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, it's the border, it's all this different stuff, and it gives you just one more reason to stay frustrated. Now, the third way that you can really keep yourself in a mess, if that's what you want to do, is to hang out with people who do the first two. Okay? Very important point. It's what I call the circle. You want to have a circle of excellence versus a circle of influence. And I want to make sure, okay. Because what happens is those people feel that they have to share their experience with you. Right? It's, what about this? It's, well, did you see what that guy said? And Barney Frank did this, and George Bush did this, and the Republicans and Democrats, and the dog ate my mailman, and whatever. All they talk about is something that's wrong. And my wife did this, and my kid did this, and right? That's what they do. And that bleeds over on us, all right? So you don't have to have the first-hand knowledge. You just have to be around people because it will influence you, right? If you lay down with dogs, you will come up with fleas. Now, one of the things we talk about in what we call performance coaching circles, and it doesn't matter if it's motivational or personal development or neurolinguistics, whatever, is create your own circle of excellence. Okay, create your own, there's a circle of influence that we all talk about, that's our natural circle. But what we want to do is create a circle of excellence. Now, I mentioned this before, I want to go back real quick. There's a review, remember when I talked about the news? Now, tell me if this sounds familiar, right? The world is becoming a smaller place. We get information faster now than ever before. There's iPods, Droid phones, there's an iPad back there. We're burning up natural resources, population explosion, wars breaking out everywhere. That sounds like it came out of the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal or Time Magazine recently, correct? Does that all sound familiar? The challenge is that article was written 177 years ago in the what morphed into the Atlantic Journal. So it's the same story, just different stuff. So if you want to make some changes, who would like to feel better? You would like to feel better, yes? You'd like to be more positive, you'd like to have maybe some more levity around you, and maybe not just hang out with the constipated people all the time, right? Seriously, right? We could all use a bran muffin. I think we'd all be getting along a lot better. Let's all go to Washington. Let's make a pact right now. We're going to get 435 bran muffins. Well, make that 535. We're going to go to Washington and really get things moving again. So the first thing you want to do is ask yourself, what is it that you want? Right? What is it that you want, and why is that important to you? What do you really want? Not what you think you want. Focus on that. Put that up. People say, write it down. Absolutely, write it down. 3x5 cards, in a journal, whatever. Ask yourself, why is that important? Because if you don't have the values, if you don't understand why it's going to move you forward, you're not going to progress. And then thirdly, what are you willing to give up to get it? Because if you're not willing to give up, if you're not willing to exchange something of value to gain something of value, you're not going to have much luck. Now, and I guess we're kind of bumping around on this too, so this is not automatic. But you understand that. Ask yourself what it is you want, why it's important to you, what you're willing to give up to get it. And that may be associations, it may be friends. That doesn't mean go home and get divorced or tell your girlfriend you've got to break up with her.
Yep.
What it means is, hey, we're not going to talk about business, we're not going to get into politics, we're not going to get into that stuff, whatever it may be. And by no means am I advocating don't pay attention to the news. Keep it on the periphery, right? Don't let it invade and guide and direct your life. Now, we're back to the 3 questions. He's making me very angry.
Send your slides in on time next time.
Oh. You know, and that's, see, I was testing him too. Technology, right? I know, that's one of the things, right? I'm learning how to do this stuff. But touche. So what is it that you really want? What is it that you want? Why is it important? What values does it touch? Does it make, are you feeling more contributory? Some people say money or cars. That's great, but you know what? There's going to be something a little deeper. And then next is going to be, what are you willing to give up to get it? It's going to be time, resources, but what about associations, negative mindset, beliefs, right? What do you believe about the economy? I think we're living in one of the greatest times ever. Are we having some challenges? Yes. But we're looking around at people that are achieving more and doing more because of technology, because of the opportunities. Things are opening up. You just have to look for it. Now, can we get what's next? We're kind of bouncing around here, right? I did a really good job at screwing that up, didn't I? All right, well, I'll tell you what. If I'm going to screw it up, I'm going to do it the best I can. Focus on what you want, and then who you are in relation to that, and who you must become to get it. If you look at these 3 areas, you're going to have a much more pleasant experience. You're going to look forward to getting up. You're going to look forward to, getting the phone calls. You're not going to be avoiding it. Anybody ever here avoid a phone call? Anybody ever thankful that we have caller ID? Right? Those things happen, but you're not going to have to worry about that because you're going to eliminate that stuff. So, lastly, the essence of survival. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up, and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will starve to death. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows he must outrun the slowest gazelle or he will starve to death. It doesn't matter if you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. Okay, my name's David Martin. Again, contact me. I've got a free workshop coming up on August 10th. I want to thank you guys, and I promise I'll get it in on time next time.